Alright, so in this video I want to quickly shine a spotlight on this blue-black Zubera deck. So over the years quite a few people have tried to make Zubera decks work with varying degrees of success. So the Zuberas are this cycle of spirits from Champions of Kamigawa that all of the Zuberas have an effect that triggers when they die, and basically the effect gives you value based on how many Zuberas have died this turn. So this is a Demir list which is running the black Zubera and the blue Zubera. So the black Zubera, Ashen Skin Zubera, is 2 mana for a 1/2. It says when it dies, target opponent discards a card for each Zubera that died this turn. So a pretty decent discard if we get enough Zuberas in the graveyard. And then even better is the blue Zubera, Floating Dream Zubera, which is 2 mana for a 1/2. It says when Floating Dream Zubera dies, draw a card for each Zubera that died this turn. So very powerful card draw effect. So this player has basically put these Zuberas in a blue-black control shell with a little bit of ramp, removal, and effects to get our Zuberas to return to the battlefield when they die, like Undying Evil and Supernatural Stamina. So let me quickly look through it. Right, so we're running 18 lands, nothing too crazy here, just the standard Pauper jewels that you'll see. As one of our board wipe effects, we have 3 copies of Crypt Rats, which is 3 mana for a 1/1. It says pay X, but spend only black mana on X. Crypt Rats deals X damage to each creature and each player, so a very powerful board wipe. Then, since we have a little bit of a sacrifice sub-theme going on here, we're playing Carrion Feeder, 1 black for a 1/1 zombie that can't block, has an activated ability, sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Carrion Feeder. Right, then we also have Mel Drifter, of course, 5 mana for a 2/2 flying. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, and it has Evoke for 3. As bigger bombs, we have 2 copies of Gurmag Angler, 7 mana for a 5/5 with Delve. For more sacrifice outlets, we have Viscera Seer, 1 black for a 1/1 that says sacrifice a creature, scry 1. Then in terms of bringing our Zuberas back to the battlefield after they die, we have 2 copies of Undying Evil. Target creature gains Undying until end of turn. So if it doesn't have a +1/+1 counter on it, you return it to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Then very similar, we have 4 copies of Supernatural Stamina, 1 black for an instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains, when this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped. So yet another way to revive our Zuberas. Okay, 1 copy of Innocent Blood, 1 black for a sorcery, each player sacrifices a creature. 1 copy of the equipment Silvok Lifestaff, costs 1 mana, equip cost 1. Equip creature gets +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature dies, you gain 3 life, so a way of getting some life at least from sacking our Zuberas. Then for ramp, we have a full set of Dark Ritual, 1 black for an instant, add 3 black to your mana pool. Then we have 2 copies of Chainer's Edict, 2 mana for a sorcery. Target player sacrifices a creature, and it has a flashback cost of 7. Then we have Tragic Slip, 1 black for an instant. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, but that creature gets -13/-13 until end of turn instead if a creature died this turn, which in this deck is going to happen very often. For more removal, we have 1 copy of Cast Down, 2 mana for an instant, destroy target non-legendary creature. And then for yet another way of returning our Zuberas to the battlefield, we have 2 copies of Unearth, 1 black for a sorcery, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then it also has cycling for 2. Then nothing super crazy in the sideboard, 1 copy of Thorn of the Black Rose, some Duress, Hydroblast against red decks, Dispel against counters decks, another copy of Innocent Blood, Nile Spellbomb for Graveyard Hate, another Cast Down, then a Rush of Vitality, 2 mana for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. And then 2 copies of Bone Picker, which has Death Synergy, so 4 mana for a 3/2 flying Death Touch. but it costs 3 less to cast if a creature died this turn. So this is a pretty fun looking shell for a Zubera list. I thought I would just bring some attention to it to hopefully get your creativity going. If you have ideas for how this deck could be improved or for a fresh take on Zuberas, please let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.